fist flying no bounds. Podcast kings, we pound for pound. UFC thrills, stills nights get loud. Big EQB, that's how we get down.
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GRP. Back at it again on a Thursday. And the last in-studio podcast for the week. For the next, I don't know, for the next week, I guess I should say. Because I will not be here. I will be gone. I'm taking a trip for my birthday. And I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to work out the podcast. You know, normally I go live on Sunday to do the recap. Sometimes make it Monday. But I'm going to... That Sunday's the first day of my trip. I know it's weird. I'm taking the trip and doing it for the week. Yeah, I'm leaving Sunday and coming back Friday. So it's like a weird one. But I kind of almost prefer it because I'm not looking to get too crazy, and it is what it is. It's going to be nice and cool to be able to just go and enjoy myself and not worry about this, that, or the other thing. Maybe have it not be so crazy. But here's the thing. Sunday, I usually go live to do the recap of the event that happened on Saturday, which is this week is UFC Rio. And sometimes I push it till Monday, depending on how things go. But yeah, Sunday I'm driving, and then I will get there and be there and just be settling in. And I don't know, I'm not going to have time to prep. So, I mean, do I do it on Monday? Do I wait? Do I skip the whole week? I don't know what to do. I've been stressing on this all week because initially I said I'm taking all my stuff, like if I would go out of town for work and just make it happen. But I don't know. But here's the other thing. I do have, I bought some cool new microphones for on-the-go content stuff that I can connect to my phone. Maybe I might just do like a real quick show both days that I would normally go on and see what happens. Or sometime throughout, maybe just make a video and release it. I might do that. That way it'll all just be real-time stuff, maybe no visuals, just talking. And we'll see. We'll see how it works because it's going to get tricky. It's going to get tricky. But yeah, I usually want to take all my stuff and just do it all. But I don't see that as being realistic. Now I'm just playing things out of my head out loud. And you're here to witness it. But yeah, so just a heads up on that. Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I'm going live, when I put out any content. I've been putting out shorts you know, pretty much for the past week, every day or other day at least. So check those out. Go give them a like, you know, get me that view, and just enjoy the content too. You know, I like kind of putting together things for all the fighters. So I've been doing that for the main events and co-mains and anything else to do with the event coming up. Just keeping it current, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, you can go subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that notification bell. It'll tell you when I'm doing any of that stuff and posting it. And yeah, since this week will be kind of sporadic coming up, then that'll let you know when I'm actually going to, you know, be doing some stuff. So who knows, maybe I'll do some special pop-up stuff. We'll see what kind of craziness I can get into and you know, what kind of cool stuff I come across while I'm gone. You never know. But yeah, that's just a heads up for the week coming up. It's going to be a bit tricky. But I don't know, man. It is what it is. It's okay to take a break sometimes, and I know that. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and just let it be and see how it works out. So just be aware of that. And if you don't see me, please don't abandon me. Please don't think I went anywhere. Come back the week after, and I mean the Sunday after even, because not this week's event, but the week after will be, who is the week after? Oh, that's that Rainier de Ritter versus Brendan Allen fight with Kevin Holland and Mike Malott, the Canada card. Marlon Vera versus Ayman Zahabi. That's going to be a good one, and I will be here on that Saturday at home to watch that, and so I'll definitely be recapping that on Sunday from the studio here. So yeah, just don't abandon me. I know sometimes when you don't see somebody pop up for a minute, you kind of forget or whatever. So I just don't want anybody to, you know, think I'm like gone and forget about me. So it's easy to forget. There's so much stuff out there and so many people to follow and do stuff with, I understand. So that's why I say don't abandon me. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point because I thought I got this picture I wanted to bring up, and I guess I didn't save it. I don't know what the hell happened here. Let me save this again and see what's up. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. What the hell? Okay, anyway. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I got something new in the background there, if you see. So I'm just trying to get it ready so I give you kind of a more close-up view of it in case it's hard to see from that far away. So let me just get this set up here. I'm doing it in my little preview window. And yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So there it is. Yeah, so if you noticed it in the background, you can see it up close right there. My daughter got me that for as an early birthday gift, which is pretty badass. If you know, you know, right? The meme of DC falling over Joe Rogan with this crazy surprised face, Anik on the other side, you know, getting pressed down by Rogan because he's going nuts. It's a fun one. It's a funny one too. And you know, that's always the reaction you get from people with memes and stuff when crazy fights happen. So if I turn that off, you see it right down there in the back. So it's right there. So it's a good addition, you know, and then Infinity made me the UFC logo back there too. So that's pretty dope. I think it all flows together well. It's a little dark and from far away, so that's why I brought up the picture in case you weren't able to see it. So thank you to my daughter Tren who hooked that up for me. I thought that was a great idea and a good addition to the studio. There it is up close one more time in case you didn't see it. But yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. So great addition, and I appreciate it. And now everybody else gets to see and appreciate it. And then you can see my picture with Cowboy Cerrone down there as well. Anyway, I'm always making changes and adding stuff in. So that was a good addition. And, you know, sometimes I got to find space to make things work and be on camera. But there it is. It worked out. And I like where it sits. So it's good. So I appreciate that. And yeah, it's been a kind of a crazy week. I almost had some issues here getting here today. My other daughter's car had some issues and just a dead battery basically, but I wasn't sure, and she calls me for the second time this week. I get called as I'm walking out of the shower. Okay, I get home, I take a shower, I start the prep for the podcast on Thursdays, you know, while finishing up the prep, getting the stream ready, all that good stuff. So I always need some time and putting in any extras. And today I got called as soon as I'm getting out of the shower again. Same thing happened on Tuesday because I got called into work on Tuesday, and I didn't even get to watch the Contender Series until earlier today, actually, because getting called into work and having to deal with that shit. So for the second time this week, I get called as I'm walking out of the shower, and then I gotta go. So I was worried that I might not make it tonight, or I might make it super late, but fortunately, I was able to get things worked out and got her back home with the car and everything. So that's good. And then Tuesday, I was able to work out my stuff with work and all that. It just threw a wrench in dinner plans. I'm the food guy here. I make dinners because, well, I used to do that for a living. So I make the dinners here at home, and that threw a wrench in my plans for dinner. So we kind of just ate something quick. But yeah, for the second time this week, I'm like, son of a bitch, man. I need this to stop. And of course, it's always the week leading up to when I'm going to be gone that like everything goes down, things happen, you know, podcast nights. It's like, what the fuck, man? I have something to do tonight. And of all nights, I need one night, you know, that like I don't have that going on. I guess it's 2 nights now, but technically, you know, Thursdays are the main days. So it's like, shit, I just want this night to go smooth and want to be able to do what I normally do. And then shit just happens. So, but I guess that's life. I get frustrated with it, but it's because I can't control it. And I don't know that am I hearing a plane? What the fuck is that? Yeah, I guess so. That shit is loud. I was like, what is going on in the background? Anyway, yeah, so that kind of shit happened. But it is what it is. Work's been a little weird this week. But, you know, That's how things go. So I'm just leading up to tomorrow being the last day of the week for work. So then I can get through Saturday and then my vacation starts. So I'm happy about that. I'm going to have a good time with my wife. I got a couple friends going with us for the first part of the trip, and the second part of the trip, it'll just be us. So it'll be a fun time all the way around, and I'll, update you guys when I get back completely, but be on the lookout for any content that I put out there. So, and don't worry, I'll be back. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to take a little whiff of my smelling salt here, Noctane smelling salts. I'm sure you heard me shaking them up already, but I always got to give a shout out before I take a quick whiff. Oh shit, I turned on the light, not turned off the fan. There we go. And then we can get the show on the road because we got some stuff to talk about. Here we go. This is the most potent cap, so if you see a harsh reaction, that's why, in case you haven't seen this before. But most people have, because I do it all the time on the show, because, well, they're my sponsor, and I like to make sure I use the product while I'm here because I use it all the time anyway. Here we go. Oh, there it is. I thought it got me the first time, and then it really got me the second time. Oof. And my eyes start watering, but it's because it's pretty potent, and that is Noctane smelling salt. The red cap's the most potent one. There's a couple other ones in there that you can try out so you don't have such a harsh reaction. Oh man, my eyes. But yeah, it's a good one. It keeps you awake and alert, and gives you a nice little boost of adrenaline when you need it, when you're feeling a little tired or worn down. Power lifters use it before they take those big heavy lifts, and other people use it for various different reasons. You can learn about that and much more on their website. Scan that QR code or hit that description in the link. There's a link in the description below. You can click on that. Go get yourself a bottle. Good price, good product. It lasts a while if you take care of it. And yeah, it's worth getting because it's very useful. So Noctane, thank you for the sponsorship. I appreciate you. And yeah, that's it for that. So if you're in the chat, don't be afraid to jump in and interact and ask questions, make comments, do whatever you got to do. I like the interaction, so if you're here, make sure you do that. And also, if you're here, make sure you hit that like button below. That always helps my channel grow. And subscribe if you haven't already. So other than that, we will get right into it after I take a quick sip. And we'll get right into Dana White's Contender Series, which is pretty fresh in my brain, so it was a good one. Dana White's Contender Series Week 9 happened on Tuesday, as it does every Tuesday. And I think we're winding down now to the last few weeks. I don't remember specifically how many weeks are in the Contender Series usually. I want to say there's like 10 or 11. Oh shit, yeah, it looks like next week. Damn, it's been a great season of Dana White's Contender Series, I'll tell you that. It didn't start off great, but it's been a great one since that first night. But it looks like, according to this list, that next week is the last one for this season. So that's kind of a damn shame, because it's been good and it's been fun and it's extra content, extra fights to see, extra fights to talk about. But yeah, this week we got a lot to talk about with this, because damn, was it a good night of fights. And it was one of the best fights you've probably ever seen on the Contender Series in the, what was it, the co-main. And then we had some quick knockouts, a good submission, and the two fights, the last two fights on the card, the co-main and main, went to decision, but they were both entertaining, especially that second to last fight. Holy shit, was that a fight. I mean, yeah, we'll get to it, but there's things that never happened before happen on this week's episode. It's crazy, man. So this is by far the best show for fights anywhere. I mean, it beats out The Ultimate Fighter by far. It beats out Dana White looking for a fight. It beats out anything else the UFC does, anything else anyone else does. I feel like this season has shown and proved why Dana White's Contender Series is effective, entertaining, and well worth your Tuesday night of viewing or going back to it whenever you do. So If you haven't watched it, you should. Man, believe me, I wasn't watching them all the time. I was just kind of catching highlights, checking and seeing what was happening, you know, after the fact. And I still kind of do that, but I make it a point to watch all the fights all the way through now because they've been so damn good this season. It was insane. Tyler Fish, what's up? Welcome back. That Vlogden fight was wild as fuck. No doubt, man. I have not gotten there yet, but I can't wait to talk about that one. And it won't take long to get there because the first few fights were pretty fucking fast. But that was the fight I was talking about, the one that Tyler just mentioned. Vlogden versus Martinetti. Holy shit, was that a crazy ass fight. I mean, it's hard to even explain it. So we'll get to it here in just a second. But yeah, like I was saying, Dana White's Contender Series is by far the best thing to watch without just half the time. It's better than some of the cards that happen. Mateusz, what's up? Yeah, fight of the season, fight of the fucking series, man. I don't know that I've ever seen a fight that good in the Contender Series ever in my life. I mean, we're talking shades of fucking Griffin versus Bonner. Like, what the fuck just happened? I don't even know. Nelly versus, yeah, Martinetti versus Vlogden was that crazy fucking fight. Insane. These guys watched it, obviously. So if you didn't watch it, you should go back and watch it. If you have ESPN Plus, you can go back and watch it anytime. But wow, that was a crazy fight. There was a women's fight the previous week. That's number 2 best fight of the season. Yeah, I agree. That was a good one. The women have put out some great fights this season. I think there's only been 2 women's fights all season, but both of them have been insane, and they both had each fighter from both fights get a contract. Like every single woman that has fought on the season this year has gotten a contract, which is insane, win or lose. Second round might be the greatest round. Yeah, no doubt. So before we get there, let's hit up this Luke Fernandez versus Rafael. Oh Jesus, what did I just do? There we go. Rafael Pergentino, I think is how you say it. The women have been showing up and showing out. That's 100% correct. Facts on that one. Women's MMA is greater than WNBA. I mean, those are 2 different sports, so I would say, yeah, but I got you. This was impressive as fuck. Yeah, this one was holy shit. So first of all, Luke Fernandez was a minus 1100. I heard minus 1400 in some spots. Favorite against Pergentino, which was a plus 700 underdog, fighting at light heavyweight division. Fernandez came in to this one 5-0. Pergentino was 5-0 as well. I mean 4-0, and Luke deserved a better opponent. Yeah, but you know what? He got to show and prove. Why was his opponent short notice? That I don't know. I don't think so, because in the canceled fights below in Tapology, it does not say anything about that. So I don't think so. But I just think it was a horrible mismatch, and maybe they just didn't have a fighter that could step in at that time. So they got this guy, and they were just like, hey, we need an opponent for him. Let's just take this dude. But damn, when you got minus 1100 or higher, and you come in and fucking knock somebody out in 15 seconds, you showed and proved why those odds were like that. And that's the right way to do it when it comes to the Contender Series. And you know what? He came there to showcase his skills. He didn't get a lot of time to do it. That dude should sue the UFC. Well, they definitely did him dirty, that's for sure. But I bet anything, he's just happy to have gotten there, and maybe they'll give him a break and let him back on the Contender Series another time for taking that L the way that he did, for them setting his ass up. And maybe he'll get another chance. You never know. We've seen it happen in the past. People fight on the Contender Series upwards of like 2 to 3 times in the past, so you never know. But a 15-second KO for Luke Fernandez. He hit that 1-2 combination that was beautiful. A nice little jab that you forgot even happened, because the big right hand followed it and knocked him down, and he ground and pounded him out. It was insane. Booked this guy against Tuco. Oh yeah, that's not a bad fucking matchup actually. Luke looks cool. Oh yeah, he seems like a good dude. Looking forward to see what he has to offer. what weight class is that? Light heavyweight. So yeah, I mean, the bigger boys for sure. But yeah, I mean, dude, you didn't get to see much, right? 15 seconds, you don't get to see a whole lot, but that was impressive as shit for him to come out there. I mean, I started watching, I was barely settling into my seat, and next thing you know, I'm like, holy shit. So yeah, that was a fun one. That was a great way to get it started. Then we move on to the next one, Luis Felipe Diaz versus Donovan Hedrick. And I mean, this fight was, man, I mean, they came out swinging. These guys, everybody came to fight this night. That was the good thing about this card. Everyone came out there to fight. So and nobody disappointed. Every fight was interesting. I mean, there was some low parts or some lulls in some of the fights, but nothing too crazy, because then the action started right back up. Yeah, this fight was fun. Diaz started off hot, like he came out hot, but Hedrick kind of slowed him down, and we only got to the second round in this one, and I feel like somewhere in the middle, Diaz kind of slowed down, everything caught up to him a little bit, but Hedrick wasn't able to capitalize too much, because Diaz turned it back up in that second round, and the fight was good. Diaz doesn't straighten his arms. I did, now that I think about it, I did kind of notice that. But yeah, he came out, and the way that he came out when he woke back up for his little second wind, because I don't think he punched himself out or anything in that first round. I just think that he slowed down a little bit, just enough for Hedrick to get in there and do a little something of his own. And then Diaz was like, holy shit, I gotta wake up, because all of a sudden, it's like he zoned out for a minute, and then he woke back up and started doing what he was doing in the beginning of the fight. I thought he was gonna get knocked out. Good grappling. Oh yeah, the kicks were pretty damn good. And then yeah, he winds up getting him to the ground and choking him out. It didn't seem like he was gonna be able to get that choke at first, but then he locked it in, and yeah, gets the rear naked choke 4 minutes and 37 seconds into the second round. And yeah, it was a fun fight all the way through. I thought Hendricks, yeah, after he started turning it up in the end of the first and the beginning of the second, or actually it was probably more like the beginning of the second, I was like, man, he looks impressive. Like, Diaz looks like he blew his wad in the beginning, without even doing a whole lot. He did enough to make it fun, but he didn't do like a ton. And next thing you know, he just turns it back on, and everything just goes to shit for Hedrick. But he's one of those guys that I wouldn't doubt we see again. I wouldn't doubt that Dana gives him another shot, and we see him back in the Contender Series at some point in time. But as Luke Fernandez, of course, got the contract with that 15-second KO, Luis Felipe Diaz gets the UFC contract with his second round rear naked choke submission of Donovan Hedrick in the men's middleweight division. So that leads us to the third fight of the night, and this one was a fucking insane fight too. For the whole 2 minutes and 12 seconds it lasted, you had ups and downs and backs and forths. That's one of the biggest things that happened with this night of fights, was back and forth with everybody, except for that first fight was obviously 15 seconds, and Pergantino, which it's hard to remember his name because it was a forgettable performance, but he's the only guy that didn't get anything, any kind of performance in at all, except for laying down and getting knocked out. Impressive performance and sick fight. Damn, I chose Roque. Oh yeah, Roque. I was like, Roque, that's not his name. Oh, Conceição, I think that's how his name. Roque Conceição. That's fucking tough. Jesus. But this was in the men's flyweight division. Yeah. Imanol Rodriguez, which is part of Consensao. There. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What the fuck was I saying? Whatever it wasn't right. But yeah, that's correct. When you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. Consent. Yeah. But yeah, this was a fun fight, man. I mean, Rodriguez got dropped in that first round. In the beginning of the first round. And I was like, oh shit, this Roque dude came out to fight. Rodriguez is the guy that had DC in his corner, right? Yeah, he's part of DC's team. And DC was fucking hyped at the end of that fight because his boy won by TKO with an uppercut in the first round, 2 minutes and 12 seconds in, after getting dropped initially within the first few seconds of the fight. But man, he bounced back, and this dude was like the next fight we're gonna talk about, he was jumping into his punches, and I mean, this guy has a lot of fucking energy, a lot of talent with the striking. He's fast. Obviously, he's in the flyweight division, so the smaller guys. But Consencio was, I mean, he was good too. Obviously, he got Rodriguez hurt in that first couple seconds, and I feel like he'd be, worth bringing back as well. This was just a fun fight for just over 2 minutes it lasted, but that puts Imanol Rodriguez in 6-0, undefeated, and Roque's 10-3 now. But man, what a fucking fun fight. I mean, 2 minutes, there's not a whole lot to talk about except for the fact that Roque dropped him in the beginning, and then Rodriguez just came back like it took that hit to wake him up. And that we know a lot of guys that have fought in the past and that are fighting right now that need that hit to get woken up. I'm not sure that that's a usual thing for him, but he used that to his advantage in this fight, and he came back with the thunder and fucking took out Consencio, I think. God damn it, I keep Roque. I just say that because it's easier. But yeah, Rodriguez looked impressive. He kind of reminds me of Peyton Talbot a little bit because of his build and his hair. Just when you see him quickly, a little bit of the way that he fights too, but I feel like he's more I guess exciting fighter. He's more of like Talbot was in the beginning. So I feel like Rodriguez has more time in him to be able to stay that way. But that was an impressive fight for the 2 minutes we got to see of it. So man, this is just all these fights were just so great. And now we get to the greatest fight ever in the Contender Series, and shit, I'd put it up there with one of the greatest fights I've seen all around. I mean, obviously when you get fights like this, they're not like the most technical or tactical fights, but I mean, it is the most entertaining style of fight you can think of. When you don't know how these guys continue to fight with all of the damage and punches that they've taken, and yet they're still standing in front of each other and trading, that's how you know it's a crazy fucking good fight, and there's no way you can't be entertained by that. And that's exactly what happened here. And as you can see, we have, I didn't even say the names of the fighters, but because I forgot. Adrian Luna Martinetti is in the red shorts, and Mark Vologdin is in the blue with the cuts. But Vologdin looked like he got, oh shit. He kind of did, man. That's how much he was bleeding. This was just the beginning of the blood, but he was like red faced. And man, this little dude, he's like 5'5", fucking. They fight in the bantamweight division, so obviously they're fast. Both these motherfuckers got some footwork, some head movement, but yet they both got hit like crazy, which I don't understand how that works, but they're fast as shit, and I think they both were able to just hone in on each other and fucking land everything they could. I think Martinetti wound up with over 200 significant strikes landed, which is absolutely insane. Or maybe it was just 200 punches landed or thrown or some shit, I don't know. But there was and Vologdin had over 100, so that this was entertaining, and that these fools just didn't stop. There was barely any time to breathe in between all this besides the end of rounds. That's how much was going on. At one point, Martinetti looked like he was practicing the Muay Thai clinch on a bag and throwing knees on Vologdin. That's how many times he landed a knee up the middle while holding him in the Muay Thai clinch, which was insane. I just don't even know how the fuck they made it through 3 rounds. But Vologdin dropped Martinetti, I think, in the first round, and that was crazy as it was because they were going back and forth. I think Vologdin definitely got the first round Vologden was defending those knees with his chin. He sure the fuck was. He was like, hey, I don't need to put my hands up. My chin will take it. That's how you take some years off your life, much less your career. But I'll tell you what, he's durable as shit. And I don't know that I really saw Vologden get like fully dropped the way that Martinetti got folded in that first round. How he stuck in there and wound up coming out with the unanimous decision win, I don't know. But if you're squeamish, you might want to look away, because we got a close-up of this cut coming up right now. And there's one of those big knees that you saw Martinetti land so many fucking times, and there is that nasty gash in Vologden's head. So this fight was so crazy that they wound up sending these guys to the hospital. They didn't even get to hear, they didn't even get to sit in the seats and get told that they won the contract. But this is where I was saying this has never happened before in Dana White's Contender Series. They both got the contract, which we've seen happen before, but they didn't, Dana stopped everything and went and talked to Lorisenko on the side and said, listen, both these guys are getting a contract. That was an impressive fight. And here's something they're both going to the hospital right now, so I had to stop everything to tell them. But this is something we've never done before. They're both getting 25K bonuses. Like, what the fuck? That's insane. And Dana White was standing up out of his seat after the first round. And he did it after every round. He was highly impressed. It was one of the best fights I've seen in a long fucking time. And like I said, it just reminded me, especially with the, because it was the Ultimate Fighter back in the day when you had Bonner versus Griffin. And this is what that fight reminded me of. You just watching them beat the shit out of each other. This one might have been better, honestly. Obviously, Bonner and Griffin was better for the sport at the time, because his eyebrow was literally falling down from the cut. Yeah, it was. His eye was so fucking swollen too. It was insane. But Bonner and Griffin was so good for the sport at the time, because we've heard the stories, and if you haven't, well, here you go. During that fight, while it was live on Spike TV, you had people calling each other, telling each other to tune in because of how crazy that fight was, and they couldn't believe it was something that was being televised. That's how good the Bonner-Griffin fight was. And honestly, if I watched this fight on that same card with Bonner and Griffin, this would have been more exciting and more impressive, I think, because of how far it went and how crazy it was. But Bonner and Griffin is legendary for a reason, and it propelled the sport more than anything else ever had in the past. And they got so much viewership from that in the live form, that's what helped get this sport going even more than it was. And the Ultimate Fighter became the reason why MMA got so popular, which is why you got to give it props in the end, because the way it started helped the sport so much and the UFC grow. So anyway, little history. I just forget about these things sometimes, but this is a good reminder. This was such a fucking crazy fight. Vologden is so small that I'm talking, when I'm saying that he was jumping and punching, I'm not even joking. Like, when you make that joke that, oh, what are you gonna do, jump and try to hit me in the face? Yeah, that's what he did, and he was fucking accurate. He was jumping off his feet and landing punches. It was insane. He's like a flying squirrel. I don't even know how. But the fact that he dropped Martinetti in the first round, and then Martinetti came back and did the amount of damage that he did, it was 1-1 going. Cut ain't bad. It's not top 3 cuts. No, I mean, maybe top 10 illest cut. Okay. I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world. We've definitely seen worse where you're looking into somebody's skull, but it's a pretty fucking nasty cut, and it caused a lot of blood during the fight. So, if you're not used to that shit, Nazim Sadikov versus Nicholas Mota and Van versus Royval are by far the 3 best fights of the year. Oh yeah, no doubt. It's a cool shape. it definitely is. Upside down V. Yeah, that's, I mean, but yeah, Nas and Mota, Van and Royval, definitely great fights, and this one is by far one of the best fights as well. man, I kept hearing about it and I didn't have a chance to watch it, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I finally got to sit and watch him today, and this was just so much fucking fun to watch. So yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can say. You have to go watch it. If you didn't see it, you got to go back and watch it. It's one of those. So that leads us to the main event that happened for Dana White's Contender Series. Instant classic for sure, Tyler. And then we had this fight, Magomed Zainukov versus Lucas Caldas. And this was a good fight too, man. I mean, obviously, when you in comparison to the other one, it was like kind of like, oh shit, that's tough to follow. If that other fight would have been the main event, it would have been the way to close out the night for sure. But this one was not disappointing. Magomed is one of those guys where they were all saying that they couldn't believe that he was the one leading in striking and all that. He's the most Dagestani looking Dagestani I've seen in my life. You know what? That's not a fucking lie at all. Those are straight facts. Because he definitely is. From the chin strap beard to the forehead and the hair and the everything. Yeah, you're right. 100%. That shit is funny. But yeah, Magomed was not supposed to have been the guy doing all the striking, from what the commentary was saying. I hadn't really watched these guys fight before, but apparently Caldas is usually the guy stalking his opponent and you know, taking the lead in the striking. But this time he was backing up on his back foot. Magomed was pressing forward, landing everything he was throwing, and every crisp and clean strikes. That's all I got to say about Magomed Zainukov. I couldn't believe it. Like, when you think of a Dagestani fighter, you don't think of someone having the kind of striking that he has. And for him to put on a 3-round show of that striking was pretty insane. He has two Muay Thai champ. He's a 2-time Muay Thai champ. They should have known he was a striker. See, I didn't know that because I haven't followed these guys before. There's just so many fighters. It's hard, you know. Dude's Muay Thai was sensational. They're big 155ers. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so I didn't know that. So me not knowing, yeah, the commentary should have known that. But apparently they didn't, because that's what one of the things I specifically remember them saying was, oh, we didn't expect this out of Zainukov. Yeah. He even turned it up in the end in the 3rd round. Yes, he did. And I mean, his kicks were impressive too, man. They were so fucking fast. Obviously, if he's a fucking Muay Thai champ, that makes a whole lot of sense. So thank you for that fact. I appreciate that, because that makes things make a lot more sense. And that would explain why he's got such crisp and clean striking. Kept a fantastic pace, kept building on the volume. I'm a huge fan now. Exactly, Tua. So the fuck am I. Because, man, it was nuts watching that fight. Makhachev was talking about that in an interview with Mighty Mouse. Yeah, he's a 2-time Muay Thai champ and now trains grappling. Man, he's going to be a fucking beast. Hella's Muay Thai on top. Yeah, what's up, man? Welcome in. Give him Drew Dober now. Jesus. You trying to kill a guy? No. I mean, I guess that would be a good fight. But I will say, give him Ludovic Klein immediately. Yeah, I was super impressed by how clean his striking was. And I mean, he was just accurate as shit too. Caldas just looked like he was like, well, I'm hanging in there, but and also he kept poking eyes and shit. Like the ref kept telling him, hey, you need to stop this. Like, I'm not gonna tell you again. Tyler Fish with who? His striking was so on point. It definitely was. Oh, Rebecca. Oh, Rebecca is booked with Ludovic Klein. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't know that either. Or I might have, but I forgot probably. But yeah, that could be a good fight. But yeah, this guy, he's got some promise in the UFC for sure, and I'm happy that he won the contract. I mean, Caldas didn't look horrible. He just looked outmatched. You know, I feel like he's got some skills for sure. He was 6-1 coming into this. Give him top 15 right now. He belongs. No, let's slow the roll a little bit though. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's give him a couple. Let's give him 1 or 2 fights that are not in the top 15, and then you can fast track him. Let's not throw him in the fire right away. that's the kind of thing that ruins these guys a little bit. I understand the excitement behind it and all, but I feel like, yeah, let him showcase a little bit, give him a couple fights to build up the, you know, let people get in on being a fan. And, you know, you got to build them right, because we've seen what happens when they push people too fast, you know, too far too fast, and then they crumble. So I'd rather see this guy have a couple good fights in there, showcase some more of his skills, and then as he's building that that grappling and wrestling with the daggies, then he can come in and show some of that. If you were fighting, would you have a better ground game or strike? Me personally, I would definitely have a better striking game. But I mean, yeah, I've never fully trained anything specifically, but I would. I mean, I've been in some fights, and I'll tell you what though, I have 100% choked a couple people out to sleep. One was because they lost a bet, and that was the bet was whoever lost gets choked out until they pass out. Might have been dumb, but we did it. And then the second guy, I just had to stop him. We'll just say that. So 100% I did that. But that's just, yeah, I would say I definitely have a better striking game. Build him up, then give him Fiziev for the UFC Muay Thai belt. Yeah, that would be fun. Fast track him. He's going to be a real good fighter. Tyler Fish, Fiziev. Yeah, one fight, then give him Fiziev now. Damn, you are on it. All right, man. I mean, I guess if they do it, they do it. He's definitely got the skills, and I think his striking looks so clean that I feel like it's not a fluke. And now Tyler's saying that he's a Muay Thai champion shit. So that makes all the sense in the world, and I feel like he's definitely got the striking down. So if he becomes one of those crazy grapplers as well, he's going to be so well rounded, it's going to be tough to stop him. I'm surprised you guys are so high on a dude like this, honestly. Most people just come out hating on these guys, but Tyler has great switch kicks. Oh, okay. Tyler that's in here. If that's true, shit, that's awesome. But yeah, anyway, this was such a fun night, man. Such a fun night of fights. I wish I would have seen it earlier. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because then I got to watch it all before I came in here today. But I just shit. Okay, shit, IG. What? Oh, okay, shit, I guess. So I'm assuming you guys know each other. Is that why this is going down? Train together or something? Because I always like to find out what's going on. Like, Tua talks to other people that have been in the chat before. Which, by the way, where the fuck has Terzi been? He asked me about being a moderator and then bounced, and I haven't seen him since. So yeah, now I don't know him. Okay. But yeah, anyway, I'm always interested if people do know each other in the chat, you know, like if they just brought each other in here or what, or just happen to both be in. Terzi too busy being a complete oh shit. I'm surprised that YouTube let that one go through. But anyway, well, tell that fool that you know, I was asking about him, because he has to be a moderator and shit. And I was like, okay, I looked into it and everything. I was gonna talk to him about it next time he jumped in. Haven't seen him since. I'm like, what the fuck, man? But anyway, it's all good. That shit's funny though. Anyway, yeah, hell of a night of fights for Dana White's Contender Series. I mean, we'll see how if next week can top it, or at least be as good. I hope it shoots up to the standards of what this entire season has been about. That would be a great way to end this season of Dana White's Contender Series. So week 10 will be on Tuesday, the final week of the season, apparently. I might be wrong, but that's what it looked like. So I got the hiccups. Holy shit. If that's the case, yeah, it's definitely going to be hard to beat week 9 for sure. But if that's the case and next week's the last week, I will try my best. You're right, it's the last episode. Okay. Dana versus Buffer for the season finale. Yeah, I would try my best. If nothing else, maybe I'll just go live on Tuesday after the fight. If I get to watch them. I don't know what's happening, man. We're just gonna have to play by ear, so we'll see. But anyway, yeah, let's get over to the next little bit of combat sports news. And I don't know if you guys had paid attention to this, but GFL posted on a couple of their social media accounts, and they are talking about making a comeback, which they never got started. We know that, but hold on one second. GFL ain't never happening. I like the effort though. Yeah, I know. So this is why I was surprised to see this come up, because I was just like, why the fuck are we even trying to do this? The shit folded and before it even got started. They kept pushing back the time to get it started, but I was just laughing when I saw this post because I had to look twice to be like, what the fuck? I thought Kevin Lee just signed with PFL. Yeah, he did. So I only put this, okay, I should have said something. It's just a bunch of names. Yeah. So this is the 50 most followed fighters who have signed with the GFL. And this was before. So who's the coaches and who's fighting? Yeah, they did kind of do a rundown. But these were fighters that they did have signed, and I only put this up here for reference, as you know, it was kind of too good to be true in the first place. I got sidetracked because I got a text that I needed to answer, but I got sidetracked because I was just gonna say these were all the fighters that they had signed. Apparently, what kind of fucking category is that? Makes no sense. Yeah. No, they were just trying to bring clout, you know what I'm saying? But what they said was, to the athletes, fans, and partners, thank you for your patience and support. We've been hard at work and look forward to sharing what's next. Stay tuned for more to come for our plans for 2026, which is just bullshit. I mean, their problem was that they got way too far ahead of themselves. They were signing every motherfucking name that they could see and think of that wasn't signed to another organization or had an open contract where they weren't exclusive. They signed fucking everybody you could think of, like this whole list shows. And obviously they're gonna have to pay them fucking bank, right? Because most of these names are big names or people that they had to dig out from somewhere and get them to come fight. And some people just were ready to do it because of the craziness going on with all the other organizations. So I was just laughing at this because it doesn't make any sense, like Tua said. And as we know, Kevin Lee has signed, a lot of these guys have signed already with other people. So and some of them may not have exclusive deals. So if they do come back, maybe they are, maybe they are going to offer them a bag, and maybe they'll come and fight with them as well. Who knows? Breaking: Jones just signed with the GFL to fight Arlovsky because he's a legend. That does more for his legacy than Tom.
Bruh.
That is a fucking 100% would be. That sounds like a real legit fucking headline. But yeah, that's fucking funny, dude. I don't even know. We'll see. I was super surprised. I can't even believe I caught this as it happened. It literally said 8 minutes ago when I saw the post. I just happened to come across it, so I had to screenshot it and stuff, and I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, I just put this list up there to show some of the outlandish names that they had on their list of signed fighters. But there's a lot of controversy around the whole organization. There was people saying that they were claimed to have been Ellen Belcher's literally blind. Is he really? Or are you just fucking around? Because I didn't heard about that. But if you're joking, that's fucking funny. But a lot of these, there was a lot of fighters that said I never signed a contract and I've never been paid. So what the fuck are we talking about? So it's weird. This whole thing is weird. Next thing you know, they're gonna say that McGregor signed or some shit. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. But the thing is, McGregor. Well, that's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that in just a second, actually. But yeah, the thing with this is, I was excited for it when it first came out, and I was like, this sounds too good to be true. But then we heard more and more and more. Vanderlei's on the list. Yeah, what the fuck, man? We just saw him get his life taken. I mean, he got dragged out like he was a fucking, like he got fucking taken out and from afar, and they had to get his body out of the Oh my god, it was bad. Anyway, yeah, no, this list is ridiculous. It's stupid. Vanderlei, dude, just far away from comments. Yeah, he should never fight again, and I sure the fuck hope he doesn't, because the kind of shit he was talking about in that post after he got knocked out, yeah, I hope he never fights again. But he's a hard-headed motherfucker, and I doubt that happens. I'm sure he'll do something. When I saw that video, I deadass thought he yeah, no shit, because he felt like every inch of his life left his body. Usman Pajares is always a menace. Yeah, it's insane. This list is nuts, dude. I mean, there's people we haven't even seen forever on here. But anyway, doubt it happens, but you know, I had to bring it up just to see what, you know, just to throw it out there in case it does come back. Because you know what, they were talking about having fights like 2 times a week, having fights like fucking this, that, and the other thing, and I was like, the content from this is gonna be insane. Like, I'm gonna have a lot of shit to cover. But of course it never happened, so we'll see. Do they have the backing, the financial backing this time? Ilir Latifi is in UFC 5. Really? The fuck? How long has it been since Latifi's been in the UFC?
Perfect.
But yeah, anyway, I just want to talk about that one for just a minute. Anyway, just about Conor, I'm sure we all heard and saw Conor McGregor suspended due to the anti-doping policies or whatever. The stupid thing is he accepted an 18-month suspension for whereabouts violations of the UFC anti-doping policy. McGregor's period of ineligibility ends March 20th, 2026. How fucking convenient is that? The only thing about this that makes any sense now is that it helps us make sense of why he's been kind of in limbo, why he's been waiting, because he probably knew he was going to have this stuff held against him, so he probably couldn't fight. As much as we thought we heard him, you know, as much as we heard about him possibly fighting here, there, the other place, obviously he had all this going on. And yeah, there's a lot of coincidences with all this and stuff, but if you saw that he got suspended, and the first thing I thought was, how the fuck is he then gonna fight on the White House card like he keeps saying he's going to? Well, the way he's gonna do that is because it's a retroactive time frame. So conveniently, the time is up in March, and he wasn't planning on fighting until June anyway. So he's got plenty of time, so he could still be on the White House card. It's the only reason why I wanted to talk about it, because, you know, this shit with McGregor is kind of some bullshit most of the time anyway. So it is what it is. If you were worried about it, well, if he even makes it to the White House card, he's eligible to fight then, if he does make it. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get non-coked out McGregor back, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know about that one, man. We'll see. Every time I think he's getting better, he pops up for a few weeks in a row just looking like the worst he ever has, topping the last time he looked bad. So who knows? Anyway, let's get to the real event. Let's get to UFC Rio coming up this weekend. I do wish it was a better card, honestly. I would say half of the main card feels like it could be pretty good, which would be like the top 3 fights for the most part. We got Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot for the main event. It was supposed to be Rafael Fiziev, but he got injured, so Gamrot steps in. So we went from a striker to a grappler. So it could mean something better for Oliveira, considering how hard Fiziev can hit. We know Oliveira just got knocked out by Ilia Topuria, what, 3.5 months ago? So why the fuck is he fighting in a main event in Brazil? I don't know. Maybe he wants it to be his retirement fight, but that's a hell of a dangerous fight against Fiziev. I hope Oliveira wins so I can see Max sleep him after schooling Olives for 3 rounds. Yeah, that's what would happen too. But yeah, so I don't know why the fuck I don't know. I was thinking maybe he's thinking about retiring in Brazil, getting one last fight, but that would be a shitty way to go out, getting knocked out by Fiziev, which I think he would have happened, maybe. But I don't know, because also Oliveira's like fucking undefeated when it comes to fighting in Brazil. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So who knows? Maybe this is all for the best for Oliveira, because obviously I'm a Charlie Olives fan. I like him. I always have. But Gamrot, I'm just indifferent about. But Oliveira, I've liked a lot because I've followed him for a long time. But I'm just like, damn, man, he just got knocked out 3.5 months ago. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I feel like he should have probably waited a little bit longer before coming back. Like, you know, give it a good 5 months, 6 months, maybe. But I guess not. He wanted to fight in Brazil, so now he's doing that in Rio. We got Davison Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson. That should be a good fight. We'll get to that here in a minute. Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez. You know what? Let's just start at the bottom and let's talk about I don't know why I'm going through the main card. We're going to get to that. Fiziev has some overrated power, in my opinion. He has more of that wee power than like angry power, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I guess I know what you mean. I'm just thinking that I was just thinking for Oliveira, he's got enough power to knock him out the way he just got knocked out by Ilya. Just because of the fact that he's been hit quite a bit and knocked out enough. All the Brazilians might lose in Rio. See, I don't know, man, because you know, we've been on track for like all of these Australians won in their country, then the French won on their card. Brazilians might lose. See, you're making my point exactly. That's what I was about to say. We had the Australians and the French all, you know, swept their cards. So like, and I think there was one other one earlier in the year or some shit like that. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of like time for all of the, you know, all the home country people to lose. But who knows? Because if it keeps going on the way that it's been going this year, they might all win. But who knows? We'll see. In the first fight of the night, one Brazilian's gonna lose for sure because they're fucking both Brazilian. So I don't know, man. I guess that's how that works. But here's your prelims. So we got Simon Oliveira versus Luan Lacerda, and those are both Brazilians going against each other. That's why I was laughing. It depends on if you think. I think if you let Fiziev get his Hui punches and his super technical kicks and let him say "Hiya" every time he throws a body kick. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just think in the state that Oliveira's in now, without enough time in between the last time he got knocked out, that was my only frame of thought on that one. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying for sure. But we got Simon Oliveira versus Luan Lacerda, and Oliveira is 0-3 in the UFC, 18-6 overall, versus Lacerda, who's 0-2 in the UFC, and 12-3 overall. So guess what? One of these guys is going to get their first win in the UFC because they're fighting each other, and both of them have not won in the UFC yet and have losing records. So, and one Brazilian will lose, but one will win as well. That's how this one works out. Anyway, that's your bantamweight fight for the first fight of the night on the card. I'm surprised the women aren't starting the card off. That's kind of how it usually goes. Instead, they're in the second fight of the night on the prelims. We got Julia Pilastri versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. We got Fiziev is like those Chinese martial artists that throw a lot of 3 palm strikes at the air and go. Oh, man. I mean, I guess you're not wrong. But yeah, Pilastri beating the Brazilian here. We got Kowalkiewicz, who is winning when it comes to OnlyFans, but she's not winning in the cage much, I don't think. Her record's 9-9 in the UFC. I feel like she's kind of past her prime, and she's past all of those contender fights that she had where she was, you know, fighting to get to a title, or yeah, I don't know. I think that's on gone for her. She is the underdog in this one at plus 340, fighting Julia Pilastri, who's 1-2 in the UFC. Some shitty ass records going on here, but she is the favorite by minus 440, so she's a pretty heavy favorite. 13-5 overall. This is in the women's strawweight division, and yeah, that's your second fight of the night. Next up, we got what the fuck? Hold on. Why are these out of order? Wait a minute. No way. Did the fucking... Oh, hold on. I didn't even know. Pilastri probably by decision. Kovacevic is not very good at all. Yeah, not anymore. Walter Walker by first round sub. I just looking at this, it looks like Walter Walker and Usman is off. I got Pilastri by decision. Yeah, that makes sense. It looks like Walter Walker versus Muhammad Usman is off the card. According to Tapology, Walker has no opponent now. Wait, what? Yeah. It says Muhammad Usman withdrew. It doesn't say that on the website though. Wait, yeah, it does. No, hold on. That's the main card. Yeah, Walter Walker versus Usman. Yeah, but you know what? I've found? Yeah, Usman pulled out. He saved his legs. It's official. No, you're right. Because I was about to say, Tapology, when they put in their canceled fights, a lot of time they say it before the UFC even says it. So I don't know what kind of sources they have or whatever, but or maybe they just see it on the I think the UFC just doesn't keep their website up to date as much as Tapology does. But anyway, yeah, that fight's off, so that fucking sucks. We'll see if they give Walter Walker another opponent. That would be nice. Anyway, the fight after that, Lucas Rocha versus Stuart Nickel. Rocha being the Brazilian here, 17-2 overall, 0-1 in the UFC. These motherfuckers have shit for records. That's why Walter Walker would have been good on this card. But 0-1 for fucking Stuart Nickel. So we definitely have a filler card going on here. I got Nickel for the upset. Let's see, is he? It's kind of even. -105 to -120. So, but yeah, it's just fucking, I don't even know what's going on here, man. But with the flyweight division, Lucas Rocha versus Stuart Nickel. We'll see how that goes. Back to the women we go. Irina Alexieva versus Beatrice Mesquita, which if you're interested, it looked like she's a part of OF as well because she was wearing a shirt in a lot of her pictures. I don't know, haven't seen that one yet. Don't know. But anyway, she is 5-0. She's the Brazilian in this fight, making her UFC debut against Irina Alexieva. She's 5-3 overall, 1-2 in the UFC. That's in the women's bantamweight division. And then we get to Vitor Petrino versus Thomas Peterson. This could be a fun fight. Petrino is 5-2 in the UFC, 12-2 overall. This is happening in the men's heavyweight division. Thomas Peterson's 2-2 in the UFC, 10-3 overall. So that could be a fun one for sure in the heavyweight division. And then we get to the featured prelim, Rafael Filho versus Clayton Carpenter. 8-1 for Carpenter overall, 2-1 in the UFC. Filio's 2-2, 16-4 overall. So yeah, that's your featured prelim. And I don't know about that one. I think Petrino's gonna take his fight for sure. I would think. We'll see if Mesquita comes in and keeps her undefeated record. Yeah, I don't really have too many picks on these, man. I was looking forward to that Walter Walker fight for sure. The Petrino fight too, I think would be good. Filio and Carpenter, not bad. So I mean, again, this is just, I feel like this is just such a filler card to get a lot of the, get a lot of the roster, their promised fights. And for that reason, with a lot of them being Brazilian, this was the perfect card to do it on. So let's check out this main card. Let's see where we at. First fight of the night on the main card, we got Lucas Almeida versus Michael Aswell. This could definitely be a good fight in the men's featherweight division. Almeida is 2-3 in the UFC, 15-4 overall. Aswell, 10-3, 0-1 for the UFC. Again, look at these cards trip me out, man. When everybody has a losing record. I got Aswell by decision. Okay. Yeah, I mean 9-1 for KO TKOs to 5-0 for Aswell. 5-1 by subs for Almeida, and Aswell has nothing in that category. And then 1-2 for decisions for Almeida and 5-3 for Aswell. They're both coming off of losses, obviously, with those fucking records. So yeah, Almeida looks like he's the younger guy, even though he's not. What else can I say about these guys? Let's take a look and see who they're coming off their losses to. This is such a weird card, man. I didn't even pay attention that much about like the details about this card, about how everybody has a fucking losing record. That must be why everybody's so down on this card. It is what it is. Almeida lost to Danny Silva by split decision back in March of this year. Before that, he won against Timmy Kuumba. So yeah, he's got a lot of wins loss. It looks like he had a big win streak before he got to the Contender Series, where he lost break down the outside foot battle and the Prairie game of this fight. No worries, Infinity. I just appreciate you coming in at all, man. Welcome back. Outside foot battle. There's just nothing. This card is so fucking weird, man. I just don't understand it. Michael Aswell, 0-1 in Contender Series and 0-1 in the UFC. That's rough. He went to Fury FC between the Contender Series and the UFC, and he won there by split decision. But he lost his only fight in the UFC to Balaji Oki by unanimous decision back in May of this year. So he's looking to get his first official UFC win against Lucas Almeida, who's coming off a loss as well. I don't know what else to say about this fight, man. It's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, you can see some of their stuff going on here, but what else can I say? Perry? Are you going back to something you said? I don't even know what you're saying. But anyway, yeah, that's your first fight of the night. Nothing crazy going on there. Let's get to the next fight, which might be a little more interesting. We got Ricardo Ramos versus Con Ofli. But Ofli's 0-2 as well. Fucking A, man. These records are insane. 11-4 overall. Ramos is 17-7, 8-6 in the UFC. And I mean, Dana went into the cryogenic chambers of the Apex and walked around blindfolded and picked out random fighters to make this card. I got Con Ofli with the upset. So yeah. I mean, he's never been submitted. So that's a plus. 5-0 there. 2-1 by KO TKO. 4-3 by decision. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. Oh my god. Yeah, and Ramos is on coming off a loss as well. So fuck, man, these guys. This is like the card of the losers, pretty much. They're pinning two guys that are on losing streaks up against each other so that one of them finally gets a win. That's kind of how this goes. But we got Ricardo Ramos is coming off a loss to Chepe Mariscal back in March of this year. He had a win against Josh Kulabau before that, and then was on a 2-fight losing streak before that. So fucking tough, man. I don't even know at this point. Con Ofli, who I thought had a lot of hype around him, but he's 0-2. Lost to Mayron Santos by TKO, and then lost to Muhammad Naimov in his last fight by unanimous decision. Before that, he had a couple wins on the Ultimate Fighter, but he has yet to win in the UFC in any official UFC fights. So he's looking to come in and get a win finally, but who knows? All right, let's get to this fight, which I feel like is definitely going to be better. Jonathan Diniz versus Mario Pinto. At least these guys have winning records. Con Ofli was supposed to be Volk 2.0. See, that's what I remember. I remember people talking about him like he was gonna be like the next big thing, and fucking he hasn't done shit. 0-2. It's like, come on, man. Get a win already. But anyway, Jonathan Diniz versus Mario Pinto. I feel like Diniz has got this one in the bag, honestly. He's 7-0 by KO TKO, but Pinto is 6-0 there. Pinto's only had one fight in the UFC and won. He's 10-0 overall, but I just don't know that I feel like Diniz is one of those guys that doesn't look like much, but can definitely come out with a big win. He's 9-1 overall, 3-1 in the UFC. They're both coming off wins. Let's see. So that doesn't make any damn sense. How is he 3-1 in the... Okay, I must have fucked that up. Well, he is 3-1 in the UFC, so I fucked up one of those other categories. Let me see which one it is. He's 7-1 by KO TKO. That's what it is. So I just didn't correct that one. That's okay. I went over this twice too, and I still fucked it up. It's all good. 7-1 by KO TKO. 6-0 for Pinto. No submission wins or losses for Denise. 1-0 for Pinto, and then 2-0 by decision for Denise and 3-0 for Pinto. Both coming off of wins, like I said. Denise is coming from the Contender Series, and his last win was shit. I'm getting lost here. His last fight was a win over Alvin Hines back in June of 2025. Unanimous decision there. We remember the Austin Lane win because everybody beats Austin Lane, and that was a TKO win for him there. He got a performance of the night bonus for that one, and he beat what is it? Is that he beat Carl Williams. I was about to say Chaos Williams. That's a different division. Bro beat Goonsey. Oh yeah. You're right. That's who it was. Yeah, Alvin Hines, who looked good in the Contender Series. But yeah, unfortunately, he lost to Denise in his UFC debut. I almost forgot about that. So yeah, I mean, his loss was to Marcin Tybura by doctor stoppage. That was back in 2024 for his first loss of his career, and then he bounced back and beat Alvin Hines. And then we got Pinto, who's only win in the UFC. Like I said, everybody beats fucking Austin Lane. For some reason, the UFC keeps him around. Austin Lane is like the guy that they serve up is like, oh, he looks the part, but then he gets his ass whooped, which is hilarious. Austin Lane, let me look at Austin Lane's record real quick, because it's got to be something stupid. Well, he's 1-4 in the UFC. Yeah, 1-4. He did beat Robelas Despain, I'll give him that, but Despain was like, the UFC? What is that? I don't know how to fight here. And then he goes to the fucking Karate Combat and beats the shit out of everybody in seconds. I don't even know, man. It doesn't make any fucking sense, because Despain was supposed to be a big thing coming over. But definitely a punching bag is Austin Lane for sure. But yeah, what's his face? A fucking Pinto got a performance of the night bonus against Austin Lane too. So you're guaranteed a win and a performance bonus when you fight Austin Lane. That's what we learned from this. Second round, 39 seconds in, is when Pinto got his first win in his UFC debut. Lane and the Tafa Bros being still signed are the biggest mysteries ever. So I get the Tafa Bros a little bit more, except they're always fucking pulling out of fights. Okay, never mind. Maybe I don't get it. I like the Tafa Bros though. I feel like Austin Lane was like, hey, I'm washed up in the NFL, can't do that anymore, so let me go try to fight because I'm big and I think I can box or some shit. And yeah, he sucks. He absolutely fucking sucks. Like I can't, I feel bad sort of saying that, but at the same time I don't. I can't stand the Tafa Bros. Why is that? Just because they pull out all the time, or because there's something else specific? I'm just curious. Tafa Bros should go to the BKFC. That's a goddamn good point, actually. BKFC would be great for the Tafa Bros, except for the fact that they're always pulling out of fights because they're injured. So I feel like they'd have one fight there and be like Luke Rockhold and be like, I can't do this, I'm out. Get a fucking tooth knocked out and they'll be out for years. I don't know. They just can't seem to stay healthy. I have fun watching them when they're on, but like you got to get them to the fight before you can even find out if they're gonna fight well or not. So, and it does seem like every time, like, their fights are quick because they either quit quickly, they don't know how to grapple. Well, yeah, and they complain. Okay, you got a fucking point. Honestly, you got a point. I can't argue with that too much. Shit. Well, Pinto's coming from the Contender Series as well, where he got a win there, and then he was a champion in Levels Fight League, whatever the fuck that is. But yeah, so he's coming in to try to stay undefeated against Jonathan Denise. He's 10-0 now, looking to make it 11-0. Denise is coming off of that win over Alvin Hines. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in that fight. That one should be a little better than the first two. It's because Justin has 30 pounds weight cut to 265, and he falls on Junior and injures him. Well, fuck, that was the best storyline I've seen put together yet. Now I understand the Tafa Bros. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, honestly. Oh, shit. Well, that's what happens when you don't have the best cards in the world. You get a lot of fucking comedic shit going on here, and I enjoy it, and I appreciate it. So, thank you for that. All right, let's get into what seemed to be the better of the fights for all this card. Starting with Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez. I feel like this should be a pretty damn good fight, honestly. Joel Alvarez is on a 3-fight win streak. Luque is one of those guys, you know, he has the potential to do big things, and you know he has the potential in him, and you know he could be a great fighter. He could be. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying he could be, but he just can't ever seem to put it together, and it doesn't make sense because he looks like a great fighter when he's on, but then he just like loses and shit. He's 16-7 in the UFC, 23-11 overall. 11-2 by KO TKO, 9-3 by sub, 3-6 by decision. Coming off a loss, Joel Alvarez KO round 1. Tua says that makes sense. New York 34, Eagles 17. Game over. Oh shit! I forgot the football was even on. You know what? I didn't make my picks this week either. God damn it! I totally forgot. Did I update my fantasy? Probably not. I'm fucking slacking this week, man. Shit. Cam Skateboo went stupid. Oh, I was like, what? Yeah, I fucked up on everything this week, but you know what? It's been a weird week, and I'm just waiting for next week to get the fuck out of town and have a good Eagles worst game ever. Shit, I didn't watch any of it. I totally forgot it was even on. So anyway, Joel Alvarez 22-3, 7-2 in the UFC, 5-2 KO TKO, 17-0 by sub. There's your fucking stat right there. Is that correct? Because sometimes I fuck these up, so I'm just gonna make sure. Nope, that is 100% correct. Life be lifing, yeah, for sure. That is the statement of the week. 17-0 by submission for Joel Alvarez. And Tua said, what'd you say? Didn't you say Alvarez by Joel Alvarez KO round 1? Okay, so are you just fucking trolling me? Because it seems like you're going against everything that makes sense. The Brazilians being on top is over. Oh, well, it's been over for quite a while, honestly. I mean, if you think about it, none of the Brazilians have really been at the top of anything. Figgy was maybe on top for a while, probably one of the last ones. But I mean, not in the way that Brazilians were fucking big back in the day. I mean, with Silva and there were so many. Oh, Pantoja. Oh yeah, true. I mean, he's still a champ, but we forget. Pereira. Oh yeah, what the fuck am I talking about? Pantoja, the last remaining champ. Well, no, Pereira is the champ now. Again, I guess that's what I was thinking of because he just became champ again. So that's why I was kind of thinking, yeah, what you were talking, what are you talking about? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm getting confused. I'm fucking lost. I don't know, man. It's been a weird week. But yeah, Pereira just won though. You know what I mean? Like he lost. That's kind of what I was talking about. I gotta stop reading these comments. Tua is just fucking with me now. Fuck. But no, I mean, I feel like the Brazilian dominance is kind of gone. I mean, Pantoja, here's the thing though. I forget about Pantoja, right? Because Pantoja is a great fighter. It just forget about him. I don't know why. He's not one of those guys that just sticks in my brain. I think that's the problem. And then while obviously Pereira's probably one of the biggest stars in the UFC right now, even when after he lost, everybody talked shit, of course, because they always do. But I still feel like he's one of the biggest stars in the UFC. And man, if he fucking goes for that heavyweight title, I think he would fight John Jones first and then try to go after Aspinall if he still has the title. But I think if he fought John Jones first, that would be like a crazy ass career move. He gets the title back at light heavyweight and then moves up to heavyweight, fights John Jones, maybe at the White House, and beats say he beats John Jones. Then it's like, well, you're undeniable for the fucking heavyweight title. Then you get the fucking heavyweight title and you're the first ever 3-division champion in the UFC. Whew, that would be fucking legendary. I could see Pineda doing it too, but who knows? But Pineda's definitely carrying the Brazilians when it comes to popularity and, you know, star quality and fucking championships. I mean, what he's done in the past, 3.5, 4 years is absolutely nuts. So when it comes to talking about Brazilians being down and out, I mean, you can't put him in that category for sure. And Pantoja's been a champ for a little while now, so it's not necessarily 100% true. So I take back what I said. I'm a little out of it, and I'm just talking shit at this point. So anyway, Joel Alvarez versus Vicente Luque. I feel like this should be a good fight, but we'll see. I mean, if Alvarez gets it down to the ground quickly, it might be over quick. But he got his, let's see, he's on a 3-fight win streak with wins over Mark Diakase by sub, Elvis Brenner by TKO, and he got a performance of the night bonus there, and then Drakkar Klose by TKO, flying knee to ground strikes. That was in December of last year. So actually, Tua, you weren't that far off, because you did say Joel Alvarez by first round KO. Elvis Brenner was in the 3rd round, but his last fight, Drakkar Klose, was in the 1st round, so you might not be far off on that one. And then we got Vicente Luque, who is coming off a loss to Kevin Holland. Oh yeah, by Anaconda choke back in June of this year. I forgot about that one. Before that, he's been on win-loss shit for a while now. So that's the reason why I say, because I mean, he looked so good back in, was that 2020, 2021? He had 3 out of his 4 fights that he won in a row. He had performance of the night bonuses and fight of the night bonuses. He Darce choked Tyron Woodley. He TKO'd Randy Brown, TKO'd Nico Price, and then subbed Michael Chiesa. So 2 Darce chokes in a row. I mean, that was when it was fun to watch Luque. And then he dropped 2 in a row. That was to Bilal Muhammad and Jeff Neal, though. He beat Dos Anjos, lost to Buckley, beat Themba Garimbo, and then lost to Kevin Holland. So it's a weird kind of thing where he's beat a lot of guys. If you're getting subbed by Holland and Alvarez with lighter man skill will be able to sub you. Well, with those 17-0 in submissions, yeah, I think if you're getting subbed by Holland, you're definitely going to get subbed by him. So Luque's definitely got to keep it on the feet and not get taken to the ground, because Alvarez is going to put his ass out quickly. So that's a good point. But yeah, I still feel like this has potential to be a good fight. Why is my phone? Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, so next up we have our co-main event. Deiveson Figueiredo, former champion of the flyweight division, versus Montel Jackson. Man, as much as I love Figgy and what he's done in the past, I don't know that he really, I don't know what he's going to be able to do against Montel Jackson, honestly. Jackson is 9-2 in the UFC. Figgy's 13-5. I got Montel by KO. Yeah. And I mean, Figgy didn't look that great in that Sandhagen fight. I mean, he looked all right, but I mean, he got stuck in that 50-50 position and fucked up his knee. So like, how good is his knee now? You know, because that looked like it got him pretty good. And let me see, when was that fight? I got something in my eye. That was May of this year. So he fucked up his knee in May, and now he's coming back to fight. So hopefully that knee is better. But he's on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Sandhagen with that knee injury, and then he lost to Piotr Jan by unanimous decision. So before that, he was on a 3-fight win streak with wins over Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt, and Marlon Vera. Pretty good wins there. So we'll see if he can bust out of this losing streak that he's on. But Montel Jackson is tough. I mean, look at that. Oh God, my dogs are going nuts. 8-0 by KO TKO, 1-0 by sub. His only losses are by decision, so he's never been finished. He's on a 6-fight win streak. Let's take a look here. Obviously, let's look at Figgy first real quick. I just talked about it, but you know, he was in that lower division with those wars that he had against Brendan Moreno, and then we saw him beat Piotr Jan. So I just talked about all that. Let me get to Montel Jackson here. He just looks so bad. I just can't pick him to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did win. But yeah, I'm not picking him. Hey, you sound like me right now, Tyler. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I'm with you on that, because he's so good. He was so good in the past. I don't know if he just hit a block of like just not doing well, but with that knee injury, I just wonder how good he is on that knee now. And then to fight somebody who's on a 6-fight fucking win streak after he's on a 2-fight losing streak and getting injured in his last fight, I just don't get the matchup. It's a little bit weird. But anyway, I mean, Montel Jackson hasn't fought the most like crazy fight schedule, but he's still on a 6-fight win streak. Daniel Marcos was his last win in May of this year. That was a decision win there. Damone Blackshear, he got a performance of the night bonus. He won by TKO in the first round, 18 seconds in. He beat Hani Yaya by TKO as well in the first round, another performance bonus. Julio Arce by decision, JP Buys by decision, and Jesse Strader by TKO. Jackson by decision. That makes the most sense. I'm surprised Figgy coming back off. Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was saying, because I don't understand how from May to now his knee's better and like well enough for him to go into a fight like this with Montel Jackson, who I feel like is younger, right? He's 33. Let's see how old is Figgy. He looks older than he is. Well, he's 37. So yeah, he's a few years older. I feel like he looks like he's about 40 already, but he's also small, so who knows. This should be a fun fight, though. I feel like if Figgy comes out like the Figgy of old, we should get a really fun fight here, because I think Montel Jackson is talented enough to be able to give him a good fight. Figgy should just retire, especially if he loses this. Yeah, 3 in a row. If he loses, even if it's by injury, it might be time to slow it down a little bit. Maybe take a good long break or hang it up. Who knows? That might be your best bet. I do feel like most of his best days are behind him, though. I don't know that he's ever going to be a champ in this division, like he kind of seemed like he set out to be in the beginning. But I guess we'll see. If he gets a big win against Montel Jackson, that means he can still beat the younger guys who are on a streak, who are on a roll, and maybe that'll turn him around. You never know with Figgy. That's the good thing about it. So let's get to this main event and wrap it up here. We got Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like I think I heard something about 17-0 or some shit for Oliveira in when he his total record in Brazil, which is pretty crazy. I didn't get to really look deeper into that, but that's the stat I heard. So it could be off a little bit, but who knows. He's got 35-11 in MMA, so I mean, it's not that far of a stretch for having 17 wins in Brazil. But he's 23-11 in the UFC, 10-5 by KO TKO, 21-4 by sub. That's a lot of fucking submissions. 4-2 by decision. He is coming off a loss. Gamrot's coming off a win, 12-3 by decision, so he wins most of his fights that way, but he's never been stopped on the feet or on the ground. 5-0 by sub, 8-0 by KO TKO. He's 8-3 in the UFC and 25-3 overall. Only a year younger than Oliveira too, which is crazy. It's just Oliveira's been in the game for so damn long, and we've just so used to seeing him, you know, in the UFC and whatever. But this is happening in the lightweight division, obviously, and we have him coming off a loss to Ilya, where he got knocked out, like I said, back in June of this year. It's kind of like Figgy, except it's a little worse because he got fucking flatlined. And I'm just like, how are you coming back this soon and fighting? It just doesn't make sense. It's got to only be because it's in Brazil and he wanted to fight on this card. So Can he bounce back from that? How will he look? Is he going to be off? Hold on. Somebody knocking? The fuck? I swear I heard somebody knocking. Maybe it was just the music. Who knows? He did get hit too much. Yeah. He gets hit too much overall. That's the thing. But I just don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to go down. I mean, I think it's better that he's fighting Gamrot than Fiziev, but you got ghosts in your no. But you know what? Like, these headphones work too well sometimes. I was listening to something else one time, and it sounded like somebody knocked on the door and then knocked on the window, and it was all in what I was listening to. I mean, I just think Gamrot is going to get him. The leg kick game is just next level. I mean, I've never been impressed with a jab ever in my analyst career in that high guard and high hand fighting game. Gamrot gonna put volume on Charles. Yeah, I'm good, man. I swear I heard somebody knock though, so like I just had to double check. I'm telling you, I'm off today, bro. Like, it's been a fucking week. I'm just waiting for this vacation. I'm just trying to get through shit. Gamrot's offensive and defensive wrestling will be too much. Yeah, but I mean, Charles has good submissions, and I mean, he works good off his back. So you wonder why I keep one ear off. Oh, I usually just ignore everything, honestly. But yeah, it's Cedric Dumas head kick, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying on that one, but anyway. Yeah, I think Oliveira still has the good ground game. I just don't know that he can't take the shots like he used to. I think he's gonna get dropped easily if he tries to go toe to toe. And I mean, Gamrot's never been finished on the ground or on the feet, so that's what makes this tough. Oliveira just just didn't look good against Ilya. Obviously, he looked okay against Chandler, but it went to decision. They got the fight of the night for that one. Cedric Dumas is at your door. Oh shit. Man, fuck that guy. I'll just call the cops. His ass will go running easily. He's probably on violation of probation and shit as it is. He's got a fucking ankle monitor that's gonna get the cops on his ass quickly. He can't even make it to a fight. Fuck that guy. Anyway, did you see the fucking dude in who was it? BKFC, the former UFC fighter that was fighting with the fucking ankle monitor on. Like, how did he get away with that shit? That's what I want to know. If you're gonna let him fight with the ankle monitor on, like, what the fuck? I mean, I guess that's some real BKFC shit though. That makes sense. Anyway, I just remembered that right now when you said Cedric Dumas. Yeah, dude, there was pictures, man. I didn't believe it at first either, but I mean, it seemed to be legit. So it's like, what the fuck? Anyway, yeah, I mean, Oliveira looked pretty decent, street beefs type shit. Exactly. Oliveira seemed to look pretty good against Chandler, but then again, Chandler, what has he fucking done? Chandler's been a fucking fluke in the UFC. He's just popular. I don't know. I don't get it. He lost to Arman Tsarukyan. And then he beat Beneil Dariush, which that was an impressive win in the first round against Beneil, but I feel like that was his last really good fight. Chandler's, he is explosive, but work related. I've had one. What, an ankle monitor? Goddamn. Chandler's not even a ranked level fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He beat the shit out of Beneil. He did beat the shit out of Beneil. That was what the last fight I feel like he looked really, really good in. I mean, because against Arman, he lost by split decision. He beat Chandler, which is like whatever. And then he got knocked the fuck out by Ilya. So who knows, man? We'll see how Gamrot comes out looking. And you know, that's the thing. I would love to see Oliveira win in Brazil like he has in the past so many times, but I feel like this is going to be a tough fight for him. He's coming off a win over Ludovic Klein by unanimous decision. Before that, he lost a split decision to Dan Hooker. Oh, that was that crazy fight with Gamrot. Gamrot and Hooker, that bloody ass crazy fight of the night. I mean, Dan Hooker though, he's involved in those kind of crazy fights. August of last year. Before that, he was on a 3-fight win streak with wins over RDA, Rafael Dos Anjos, Rafael Fiziev, and Jalen Turner. That's a pretty good win. Decision with Turner, TKO Fazeev, and decision with Dos Anjos. So yeah, he lost to Beneil Dariush while Oliveira beat him. So if you want to do some fucking MMA math there, I'm fading Brazilians, but I think I have DuBronx by sub round 5. Okay. You said LOL though, so you're probably trolling, which is fine. But you just said DuBronx, and it reminded me. Did you guys hear about the fact that he changed his fucking name? If Charles wins, Max is gonna send him to the Shadow Realm anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's true. Only one and two Brazilians winning off this fight. Okay. Gamrot by KO in 15 seconds. God damn. Did you see though? Fucking Charles Oliveira decided he was gonna change his nickname, and he said now he's the Predator. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? DuBronx's name, it's rather unique. Yeah, it's fucking unique. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you change your name from something as unique as DuBronx that just fits you to the Predator? Like, that name is played the fuck out, number one, and number two, you don't, that doesn't suit you. Like, Francis Ngannou is the Predator. That makes sense, especially if you saw him when he first got into the UFC. Motherfucker had dreads that made him look like the Predator, legit. That's like when Ilya changed it to the Legend. It's played. Yeah, Ilya changed it to the Legend and automatically went back to fucking the El Matador. Sounds like Diddy's nickname.
Hey, no Diddy, man, no Diddy.
Oh shit, I had to think about that one for a second, but it hit me. That's fucking funny. At least spell it a cool way, like Predator. Yeah, well, I mean, so Ngannou's the Predator. Daniel James, who I've interviewed him twice actually. He's the Predator. That makes sense too. I mean, he actually like embodies the Predator name. So anyway, yeah, I just feel like the Predator's just played out, as far as like the people that have it probably have it for a good reason at this point. Going to that as your new nickname sucks, so it shouldn't be it. If he loses going back to DuBronx, he better just go back to it anyway, win or lose. So yeah, that's your main event. Fuck, I forgot about the goddamn. Let's do fight wheel predictions real quick before I get out of here. I'm too busy laughing my ass off at this shit right now. I've just been so fucking out of it. Let's take a look at last week. We had Joe Pyfer to win against Abus Magomedov, which he did. Khalil Roundtree to beat Yuri, which he did not. He got the shit beat out of him. Marab to win, which he did. Zalal to win against Emmett, which he did. And then Ankalaev to beat Pereira, which he did not. So 3-2 on those. Did you know that Charles apparently has portraits of himself in every room? Oh my god, dude, don't tell me he's one of those fucking guys. That sucks, bro. I had Killer Khalil to win. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping Khalil did win, but dude, Yuri, I mean, Khalil did great too. He was kicking Yuri's ass for a minute. But Yuri's just such a weird dude. It's like he harnessed his chi all of a sudden and fucking just came out like the goddamn warrior he is. Yuri's a beast, man. I didn't think Khalil would win, especially after the beatdown he took against Pereira. But it's tough, man. It's tough, and to have 2 beatdowns in a row like that, classic Yuri performance. It definitely is. Gets the shit kicked out of him for a little bit, and then he wakes up and goes, "I'm coming," and then he fucking kicks somebody's ass. Oh fuck, man. Yeah, so I mean, that was a fun card though. UFC 320. Infinity was here live in studio and was watching it with us, so that was a good one. Had a good time with that. Appreciate you, Infinity. Yuri has the MMA gods on his side, but Pereira has the black magic counter. Dude, that is a fucking great way to put that. I'm not even joking, because Yuri could be getting the shit kicked out of him and he just comes back and wins like somebody helped him out. And then yeah, Pereira has the only one that has his number right now. So yeah, that's a good call, Tyler. Whether you were trolling or not, that's a good call. It's a fucking good way to put that. So Anyway, yeah, there's your fight wheel predictions from last week. We went 3-2, so not too bad. It's definitely been worse, but we've definitely had better. So let's take a look at this week. Let's get this going before we get out of here for the night. Fight wheel predictions for UFC Rio. We have 6 fights on the card. Let's see what the fight wheel predicts for the first one. I do this because I suck at picking myself. I overanalyze and I just suck at it. So if we got Montel Jackson for your first fight of the night, getting the win over Davison Figueiredo. And that's kind of what we were thinking, right? For that one. I'm pretty sure that's kind of what everyone was thinking. Yuri sucks. The poor Yuri. Jesus, man. Infinity said no comment because he wants to say, yeah, bet against me. Which is true. True, okay? I'm not going to lie. I just don't have to remember every time. All right, let's go with the next fight. Montel Jackson to beat Davison Figueiredo in that co-main event was your first fight wheel prediction. Second one is Conor Ofley to beat Ricardo Ramos in that first fight of the night on the main card. Oh, I'm sorry, the second fight of the night on the main card. Oh shit, that did not. All right, there's your second fight wheel prediction. Let's get rid of Ricardo Ramos. Where the fuck is his name? There it is. Let's get that one off the wheel. And we'll go with third fight pick. Put Yuri on the no-fly list. Oh, shit. Lucas Almeida is your fight wheel prediction for the third fight. Lucas Almeida to beat... Who's he fighting? Oh, that's your first fight of the night against Michael Aswell. Lucas Almeida picked by the fight wheel. Oh shit, I think I spelled that wrong. Forgot the M. There we go. Lucas Almeida versus Michael Aswell. Get that name out of there. 3 fights to go for UFC Rio. Yuri hate will not be tolerated. Shit, Vicente Luque to get the win over Joel Alvarez. I don't see that one happening, but you never fucking know, because Luque is one of those guys that can win, just never does. Not never, but you know what I mean. Luque. So we got 2 fights left for the fight wheel predictions. What degree did he just earn? It was a master's in something. I just don't remember what. Jonathan Diniz to beat Mario Pinto and hand him his first loss of his career. Jonathan Diniz to get that win. That is your fight wheel prediction for that fight. We'll take Pinto off, and then we have just one more fight left, the main event. Oliveira versus Gamrot. Let's see what the fight wheel predicts. Looks like it might be... Oh shit, it stayed on Oliveira. Charles Oliveira to stay undefeated in Brazil, if that was correct. Luque is super losing. Yeah, terrible. Bachelor's degree in special education for security forces and recently graduated with a master's degree in security and strategic studies, according to AI Overview. There you go. I knew it was a master's. I just couldn't remember what. In what. What did that... Let's see. Gamrot? Oh, Oliveira. All right. So there is your fight wheel predictions for UFC Rio happening this weekend. Smartest UFC... Oh, shit. Fighter. I almost said that out loud. That would have been weird. He's going to be weaving baskets soon. But Tua hates Jerry. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, there's your fight wheel predictions. Montel Jackson to beat Davison Figueiredo. Conor Ofley to beat Ricardo Ramos. Lucas Almeida to beat Michael Aswell. Vicente Luque to beat Joel Alvarez. Jonathan Diniz to beat Mario Pinto. And Charles Oliveira to beat Mateusz Gamrot. Yuri just be out here straight bullshitting. Whack is he's the most exciting fighter in the sport right now. Oh shit. We have a debate. But that's it for me. we got the fight real predictions out of the way. We talked about GFL, we talked about Conor suspension, and Dana White's Contender Series best fucking fights. Fucking yeah, Joshua Van is the most exciting. Ooh, Steve Garcia is the most exciting. I don't know. They're both exciting. I don't know about the most though. There they go. Motherfucker probably like Torres Finney. Oh shit. Yuri got Asperger's. You literally said Asperger's. Yes, Infinity, I know. All right, let me get through this trip and stuff. And then my wife's got to go out of town, and then I got to go out of town again. It might not be till next month, honestly. But we'll see. I'm going to try to get up there soon, though. Yes, keep reminding me, though, because, yes, I do forget, too. So it is good to keep reminding me. But that's it for me. I appreciate all you guys in the chat. Tua, Tyler Fish, Infinity, always. Perfect will be cooler. Yeah, definitely. Let's see who else. We had somebody else in here a little bit earlier, too. I don't remember who it was, though. Fuck, I don't know. Thanks everybody for Diego Lopez is the most exciting. Yuri blocks with his head. Let's go for that. Tyler Fish eats soup with his bare hands. Jesus Christ. Everyone's getting some in before we get done here. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Please don't give up on me if I don't make it next week, but I'll try to get something out there for content. I am taking my stuff with me. I'm going to take some kind of setup with me, so I'll put something out. If not one day out of the week, maybe two. Who knows? We'll see. But I appreciate you guys for always interacting and keeping up with me and supporting me. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're here now. And if you're not subscribed, do that as well. But that's it for me for this week. I'm out of here. Take it easy. Hell no, if you're bored from a Yuri fight, then this ain't your sport. Sorry, I had to read that last one. That's it for me. I'm out of here. Take it easy. Peace.